Normally, I would not get a call like that. We learned that Mr. O'Keefe was an active Boston police officer.
There's a man passed out in the snow.
Sergeant Buchanan wanted to make me aware of it.
Oh, fuck her, bitch.
Bitch.
Cunt.
Of course it's undetermined. She was just a whack job.
How dare you?
Right?
With sarcasm.
Brian Tully, Tully, Massachusetts State Police, Detective Lieutenant, and my current role is the Unit Commander for the Norfolk State Police Detective Unit.
This is Detective Brian Tully. He was in charge of both Yuri Buchanan and Michael Proctor during the Karen Reed investigation. Despite appearing to look like a little weasel on the stand and in life, he did play football at some local college called Stonehill, which coincidentally was the same team John O'Keefe's brother played on as the quarterback. But late last night, the Queen, Corey Hopkins, obtained a critical document indicating that Tully advised both Proctor and Yuri Buchanan to actually investigate and research the witnesses the defense disclosed on their witness list. There could be potential ethical violations with regard to this investigation if the DA didn't know about it.
When did you become aware, and how did you become aware initially of what had transpired?
Shortly after 7 a.m. that date, I received a call from Sergeant Yuri Buchanan, informing me that a person by the name of John O'Keefe was found unresponsive in Canton, where it was expected he was not to survive. Normally, I would not get a call like that. We learned that Mr. O'Keefe was an active Boston police officer.
There's a man passed out in the snow.
Sergeant Buchanan wanted to make me aware of it at that point. Trooper Proctor.
C-U-N-T.
Motherfucker. Be classy. Fucker.
Based on the day's investigation, it was clear that Miss Reed had struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
And there's our favorite crack detective, Michael Proctor, and he solved this entire case within 24 hours.
Oh, fuck her, bitch.
Bitch.
Cunt.
Who was the on-call trooper that day, and Sergeant Buchanan responded to Canton Police to begin the investigation, and they would keep me updated as they learned more information. The law that I cited also says that the Office of Chief Medical Examiner has exclusive jurisdiction as well.
Apparently, there's some law that gives the state troopers exclusive jurisdiction whenever anyone dies in the state of Massachusetts.
To determine the cause and manner of death, so we work closely hand in hand to figure out the circumstances that led to the death.
As far as the determination specifically, whether it's manner or cause, what, if any, impact does that have with regard to any death investigation that you're doing?
Well, the cause will give us a big incident, so we want to know if the person died of a heart attack or if they died of a gunshot wound.
Tully's testifying about the medical examiner's role when someone dies in the state of Massachusetts.
That's big when it comes to then making charging decisions about circumstances. It's important to learn the cause. To get the doctor's input on the manner is also helpful.
My name is Irene Scorribello. I am a medical examiner employed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Are cause of death and manner of death the same or two different things?
They're two completely different things.
Can you explain to us what the difference is between the two of them?
Finally, I always wondered what the difference was.
Cause of death refers to the disease or the injury that initiates a sequence of events that ultimately leads to someone's death. So that disease or that injury can be a natural disease such as atherosclerosis or coronary artery disease, or it can be some sort of injury. The manner of death has to do with the circumstances that led to the death. So there are 5 manners of death that we use. The most common one is actually natural. If trauma or an injury is involved, then the manner of death is no longer natural. It could be the trauma was inflicted in an accidental manner, in which case the manner becomes accident. If it was inflicted by another person with the intent to cause harm, then the manner becomes a homicide. If the trauma was self-inflicted, then the manner of death is suicide. So we have natural, accident, homicide, suicide, and then the 5th one is what we call undetermined or could not be determined.
And that's exactly what the fine doctor determined after examining John O'Keefe's body.
That is when the circumstances in a case are not entirely known or clear to us, and the information that we have does not support one manner of death over another. In that case, we classify the manner of death as undetermined.
Did you reach a conclusion about the cause of Mr. O'Keefe's death?
The cause of death was determined to be blunt impact injuries of head and hypothermia.
Were you able to reach a conclusion as to the manner of Mr. O'Keefe's death to a reasonable degree of medical certainty?
Sure, that's easy. In a drunken, jealous rage, Higgy Bear punched John O'Keefe somewhere in the yard at 34 Fairview. John O'Keefe hit the back of his head and subsequently died.
No, I was not.
Do you consider information, nonetheless, from police reports and witness statements in your analysis?
Yes.
Do you also consider information about scene investigation?
Yes.
Are you familiar with a person named Michael Proctor?
You were asked the question, so first, what do you mean by, of course it's undetermined? And your answer was, I said it at the time, it was kind of like, not like figuratively, of course, it's an of course, like I had never really seen that before in a homicide.
That beautiful answer was given when he was questioned by the FBI.
End quote.
Yes.
Your statement in February of 2024, under oath, was you'd literally never seen that in any homicide you've ever worked, right?
Yes.
Earlier in his testimony, Proctor claimed he could not remember how many times the manner of death was classified as undecided in a homicide investigation. Allen smartly and correctly and beautifully impeached him, showing him that he actually admitted to the FBI he's never seen a homicide be classified in terms of the manner of death as undetermined.
After she reached that conclusion, you discussed this with one of your colleagues about how you tried to put pressure on her to change her or alter her opinion, correct?
Pressure? Absolutely not.
Trooper DeChico texted you, rookie move, not going into a meeting with the ME and getting that homicide determination.
It's common for police to work with medical examiners to determine the manner and cause of death. And despite Proctor advocating for the manner of death to be homicide, implicating Karen Reed, the good doctor refused to budge.
Correct?
Yes.
You responded, Yuri and I, who's Yuri?
Yuri Buchanek.
Sergeant Buchanan.
Yuri and I had 2 conference calls with her, sent her numerous photos, etc. We laid out the entire case for her. DeChico then responds, not good enough. Should have had me and Jeff do it. In response to getting the information that she made the determination and held on to it, that this was undetermined, your answer was?
Well, in fairness to Proctor, he did refer to Karen as a whack job and I think something else.
Ultimately, did the doctor change her opinion?
No.
Is that name familiar to you?
Yes, it is.
Did former Trooper Proctor inform you of the working law enforcement theory at the time of the investigation of this matter, namely his working theory, collision of a motor vehicle with a pedestrian?
He informed our office of that, yes.
Dr. Scorti-Bello, do you recognize any of the individuals in that picture?
There was some question with regard to this picture during the trial. I guess the defense was implying that that is Michael Proctor there, but the old doctor could not positively identify him.
No, I don't.
Do you recall former Trooper Proctor sending you a copy of scene photographs and wanting to schedule a phone call with you so that he could explain the status of his investigation? Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did you evaluate it all in your autopsy, whether Mr. O'Keefe had any injuries consistent with a motor vehicle accident?
Yes, I did examine his lower extremities. That is protocol in any case of suspected impact with a motor vehicle. So I did examine his legs and I did not see any evidence of an impact site.
If you're the attorney asking this question for the defense, this is your entire case. Does the state's medical examiner see any proof that John O'Keefe was hit by an automobile? And now he's about to use a questioning technique that is the most effective when dealing with an adverse witness, asking them a simple, open-ended question. Generally, when you're questioning an adverse witness, you use leading questions. That's a question that has a statement that suggests the answer with a yes or no after it. Leading questions are used so you can control the witness. Generally, you don't ask them open-ended question, who, what, where, why, when. However, when you can do it and you have your adverse witness testifying about something that is so critical and so positive towards your client, you are in heaven.
And can you elaborate to the jury what you mean by no evidence of an impact site?
And there it is.
I'm going to sustain that objection.
What do you mean in your answer, no evidence of impact injuries?
I'll allow that.
What I look for is some sort of bruise, either on the outside of the leg or bleeding on the inside.
And I guarantee right now, old Bob Alessi, despite constraining himself, is so happy inside because no matter what she says, it's going to support a main issue of his own case.
After the skin is reflected in the soft tissues or any fracture of the bones of the legs. I did not observe those things.
That was going to be my question. You did not observe any of those things, correct?
Correct.
If the manner is found to be undetermined, would that impact what you've learned through the rest of the course of your investigation as far as charging goes?
No.
Tully was just asked if the medical examiner determined the manner of death to be undetermined in a homicide, would that affect your investigation and potentially the charges you bring? The answer is absolutely yes. And we know because Proctor has never even seen it before in his life. But more importantly, if the scientists tell you they can't support a homicide claim, that should set off 25 red flags when you're doing a proper investigation.
It's important to learn the cause. To get the doctor's input on the manner is also helpful. That determination by the OCME is often in the early stages of investigation, and as we learn more information, the circumstances can change.
It's amazing to see Tully's testimony changing with regard to the importance of a medical examiner's decision.
Based on the day's investigation, it was clear that Miss Reed had struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
The determination that is made by the medical examiner, that's strictly from a medical perspective, correct?
Correct.
And why bother with all that medical mumbo jumbo that clearly evidences that John O'Keefe was not struck by Karen Reed's SUV? As I said earlier, if a medical examiner determines that the manner of death is undetermined in a homicide, that must set off major red flags when you're doing a proper investigation. In her civil lawsuit, Karen Reed will definitely point out all the flaws in the investigation and the procedure for which the Massachusetts State Police operates under. I want to thank the Queen, Corey Hopkins, for obtaining that document, which indicates us Tully was really pulling a lot of strings during this investigation. But either way, we are not going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
I kissed Brian Higgins the other night. I love you, gay Jeff.
I didn't do it.
Do.
I had nothing to do with John's death.